What's up guys, Max here, and there's been a topic I've been wanting to cover for quite some time. Ever since the Nintendo Direct, Nintendo came out and showed everything they possibly could show us for the latest Smash Bros. Wii U. And there was one thing I was very much looking forward to, and I was kinda curious if they were gonna cover it within the video, and thankfully they did, which was the Smash Bros. Multiplayer focus for the Wii U. Now, as everyone knows, you can play Smash for the original Wii. Smash Bros. Brawl is online, or was online, but it was just notoriously terrible. You can make connections be somewhat okay if someone's very close to where you live, but it's only okay in the grand scheme of the majority of fighting games, and really runs awful for the most part. And everyone knows this. You don't really play with 4 people because it never runs well. And this is my initial worry for Smash Bros. Beyond the fact of the netcode and everything like that, the way they're presenting online seems a little interesting, but they haven't talked fully about what the Wii U's capabilities of Smash Bros. Are going to be. I believe the majority of the discussions presented about the multiplayer within that Nintendo Direct were pretty much just talking about the 3DS version, which gives me a little bit of hope about the Wii U version. But the 3DS version is essentially kind of a very bare-bones online structure when it comes to a fighting game. I'm glad it's going to work, I think that's cool, but there is already a fully functional and very well-running online game for fighting players on the 3DS already, and it's like the Street Fighter series. So I think Street Fighter 4 is a good example of something that could possibly be done on a handheld, and I only hope to see there more options other than, you know, for fun and for glory. Of course, for fun is just like goofiness, you can kind of do whatever you want, and then for glory is kind of the multi-different tiered versions of Final Destination and all the different stages that you can play as, and kind of a much more competitive arena where there's no items and randomness and stuff like that. I appreciate that. I think that's a really, really damn cool thing. However, I don't want this to be it. I think that if this is kind of the bare-bones structure of which they're doing, that might be okay, I guess. Maybe for the handheld version, that's acceptable, because a lot of people are going to be doing the local multiplayer thing with Smash Bros. But just imagine if Smash Bros. 3DS actually ran well online, had decently well-crafted netcode with not a crazy amount of input delay or things that we're used to, if it actually had a multitude of modes, if it had replays and stuff like that, where you can actually potentially go into the thing, look at who's the best Kirby player for the day, or who's the best Kirby player overall, and you can actually watch what their matches are, that'd be amazing. And I would hope that infrastructure isn't too complicated, because Capcom was doing it with Super Street Fighter 4 many years ago, and many other games have done so, even the ones that Namco has made. And since Namco is the company that is essentially crafting the Smash Bros. Series we know now, they're the ones building the infrastructure, they're the ones inputting the online and everything like that, I hope the stuff that we saw initially about the tease of multiplayer isn't it. And Nintendo's always been very iffy about the online in the majority of their games, and how online functions with a lot of their games. They have this thing where you don't actually directly have a win-loss ratio as far as your character profile when you go into fights. It's somewhat hidden within leaderboards, and you have to do a little bit of effort to see who's actually doing well. And I don't even think there's going to be something that can compare you directly to other people, because that's what Nintendo's trying to avoid. They don't want people to feel bad that their win ratio might be only 50%, or they might have a lot more losses than wins or something like that. Even though the only thing that's going to be taking this into account is the For Glory mode, it's not going to take the things that are in the For Fun mode, which is essentially player matches, into account at all, I think, other than total playtime. So you now have this multiplayer mode that is kind of really focused for the competitive side. It's like they tried to cater towards one side and then they didn't at the same time, because it's kind of separated in some areas. And there's a lot of stuff missing from the online modes. Like I said, I have confidence because Namco is the one that's making this stuff. They're the ones most likely putting in the online infrastructure, and hopefully if they take certain things that they've done to Soul Calibur 5 and Tekken Tag Tournament 2 in the past, it might run pretty damn good. I only hope they don't do the things that they've recently done with the recently released Soul Calibur 2 HD. I please just stay away from that completely, and let's focus on Smash Bros. Having an amazing online experience, having good netcode, and giving people access to the things that would be great for fighting games online. The Wii U might just be the pinnacle version for playing Smash Bros. 4 online. And I think that's important, and to summarize this video, I think it's really important that a game like this one, that a game with the caliber of Smash Brothers has to have good online, because we've never had that before. There's only been one game that has been, even in the series, that has had a chance to have online, and that's Brawl, and we can all admit that is freaking awful, and it does not run well. And if there's a Smash Brothers online game that runs competently and does it well, that could be a big thing, and I don't even think that's That's a thing that we should be asking too much for. I think that should become standard, because when it comes to the world and playing these games competitively, there are only so many people that are able to go towards competitive scenes and play a bunch of dudes around, and if you can just jump online without the worry of there being ridiculous crazy lag, then dude, that's awesome. That's exactly what I want for everyone, to actually have that experience, because if you have that experience, you usually can take it to offline environments and then play with friends, or even become competitive if you like. There's really no excuse for a fighting game to have bad netcode in this day and age, when a multitude of fighting games that have come out over the past couple of years have shown that it's possible to get good netcode even with bigger fighting games that have a lot of graphics and stuff like that. Saying that, you know, the graphics and all the visual information is taking away from what we can do with the netcode, that excuse doesn't fly anymore. If they try to pull something like that on us, I think that's a huge hit that Nintendo's going to take that'll make a lot of people pretty upset if Smash Brothers doesn't have good online for really weird reasons like that. Either way, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think about this entire issue about Smash Brothers running well online? Because the more I think about it, and the opportunities I've had to play Smash Brothers Brawl over the past week when the Nintendo Network is going down for the Wii, and, you know, any other times that I played before, I just think to myself, this could be amazing, freaking amazing, if you can actually play online and not worry about the lag. I only hope there is a future for Smash Brothers that includes something like that in it. Thank you all very much for watching. If you want to hit me up on Twitter or Facebook regarding this, you can find me at Maximilian_, or on Facebook at Maximilian Dude. Take care, folks, and I'll see you next time.